Ambassador Zethkree's three eyes focused on the holographic display with growing unease. The readings couldn't be correct. 17,000 vessels approaching the Galactic Court station at sublight speed, their energy signatures unlike anything in the known databases. Counselor, the communications officer's voice trembled through the translation matrix. We're receiving a transmission. It's from the humans. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent. 500 species from across the galaxy had gathered for the emergency session, their various forms of anxiety manifesting in clicking, humming, and color-shifting displays. 50 years ago, they had voted unanimously to ban humanity from galactic civilization. The humans had been too aggressive, too unpredictable, too dangerous to be allowed among civilized species. Put it through, Counselor Vexhan commanded, her crystalline form pulsing with nervous energy. The hologram shimmered, revealing a middle-aged human woman in a crisp military uniform. Her smile was polite, almost pleasant, but her eyes held something that made several council members instinctively retreat. "Greetings, esteemed members of the Galactic Council," she said, her voice carrying easily through the vast chamber. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Fleet. We've come to discuss the lifting of your ban." "Impossible," screeched Representative Clixtor from the hegemony sector. Humans were forbidden from developing faster-than-light travel. The embargo was absolute. Admiral Chen's smile widened slightly. "You banned us from your space, from your trade routes, from your technology. You forbade any species from sharing FTL drives with humanity." She paused, clasping her hands behind her back. "You never said we couldn't develop our own." The chamber erupted in chaos. Translators struggled to keep up with the cacophony of outraged voices from hundreds of species. Counselor Vexhan's form blazed with agitation as she called for order.
"Even if you developed primitive FTL," she said once quiet returned.
17,000 ships represents impossible industrial capacity for an isolated world. "Ah, but that's where you made your mistake," Chen replied. "You assumed Earth was our only world." The display behind her lit up with a star map showing the local galactic arm. Red dots began appearing. Dozens, then hundreds of them, spreading outward from Earth's solar system like a growing infection. "In the 50 years since your ban, humanity has colonized 473 worlds. We've built shipyards around a dozen stars. We've established trade networks spanning 6 sectors of space you've never even explored." Chen's voice remained conversational, almost friendly. "You see, when you cut us off from galactic civilization, you forced us to become self-sufficient. We learned to do everything ourselves." Council member Thixarn from the Peaceful Assembly spoke up. "This is clearly a violation of galactic law. You've expanded without permission, developed prohibited technologies." "Prohibited by whom?" Chen interrupted. "By a council that voted to pretend we didn't exist? By laws that explicitly excluded humanity from any protection or consideration?" Her tone hardened slightly. "You can't have it both ways. Either we're part of galactic civilization and subject to its laws, or we're not and free to make our own path." The Zephyrian delegates' bioluminescent patches flashed in distress. "Surely you understand our concerns? Humanity's history is filled with warfare, conquest. Our history?" Chen laughed, a sound that somehow managed to be both amused and dangerous. "Let me tell you about our recent history. We've spent 50 years learning that the galaxy is a big, dangerous place. Pirates from the Outer Rim who thought isolated human colonies would be easy targets. Slavers from the Crimson Nebula who believed humans would make excellent property. Warlords from a dozen species who decided our worlds looked nice for conquest." The Admiral's eyes swept across the chamber. "We learned to fight back. We learned to build better ships, stronger weapons, more effective defenses. Every attack on human space taught us something new about galactic warfare. We became very good students." "This is a threat," Counselor Vexhan declared. "You're threatening the Galactic Council." "I'm explaining reality," Chen replied calmly. 17,000 ships is just our escort fleet. We have production facilities that can build 100 ships a day. We have weapons your species stopped developing centuries ago, because you thought civilization had moved past such things. We have tactics learned from fighting species you've never heard of because they were too uncivilized for council membership." She leaned forward slightly. "But we didn't come here for war. We came to negotiate." "Negotiate what?" the Altarian representative demanded. "Our return to galactic civilization. On our terms," Chen's smile returned. You wanted to quarantine humanity because you thought we were dangerous. You succeeded beyond your wildest dreams. We are now very, very dangerous. The question is whether you want us as allies or as an independent power that you'll have to deal with anyway." The chamber fell silent. Outside, through the transparent aluminum viewing ports, the lights of 17,000 human warships stretched to the horizon like a constellation of deadly stars. What are your terms?" Counselor Vexon asked finally.
"Full membership in the Galactic Council."
"Recognition of all human territorial claims. Mutual defense pacts with any species that wants them. And most importantly," Chen's voice carried a note of steel, "a guarantee that no member species will ever again face the choice between submission and exile." She spread her hands in a gesture that might have been conciliatory, if not for the fleet behind her. 50 years ago, you banned Earth to protect galactic civilization. Today, humanity offers to protect galactic civilization. The choice, esteemed counselors, is yours. As the council members looked out at the Armada humanity had built from their exile, they began to understand that sometimes the greatest gift you can give a species is adversity. It had forged Earth's children into something stronger, more resilient and infinitely more dangerous than the humans who had first reached for the stars. The ban on Earth was lifted unanimously that day, not out of forgiveness but out of recognition that humanity had transformed their punishment into their greatest strength.